Okay, some interesting findings out today have suggested that people do not learn from their mistakes, only from their successes. Tests on monkeys found that when they solved a problem correctly, their brain cells became more efficient. This also meant that they were more likely to get the next test right. But if they got a task wrong, there was no positive change in the way that their brains worked. Put simply, they didn't learn from their mistakes. Now, scientists have suggested that this could also be true of humans, which kind of made me think, was it only male monkeys that they tested it on? And would you say that's true? Do you learn from your mistakes?
Oh, it's a bit confusing, that, really, making mistakes from failures. No, I think sometimes it was all about a monkey throwing a pen down, wasn't it? And then he didn't get his little treat, and he didn't correct it.
Yeah.
Well, I've done that sometimes when you think, I just don't want to do it, and that's it. I'm not doing it, and I don't care. You know. And then other days I'll pick it back up and think, I'm all right now, I've got it. But I learn from mistakes and fail. I don't know what I'm talking about here.
What have you got against that have you learned from your mistakes that you've made in your life?
In work, I've learned from my failures and successes. But in my private life, I just keep following the same pattern. I'm absolutely ridiculous. I just keep thinking, no.
Why do you think that is, Jane?
Because I'm a monkey.
The reason I'll ask you, you're not a monkey. Well, we all would, maybe we all were one day. But I've got a theory about it, you see, because I think people who don't learn from their mistakes, I think they don't learn from their mistakes because they're not ready to admit that they made them. That they, you know, and I know people who do this. All they do is they blame other people all the time for everything that goes wrong in their life. Mm-hmm. They blame other people or something or somebody or you know, not themselves. What, like people in airports who missed their flight and it was the...
I don't care what you say, it was not my fault.
Do you know what, though? I won't learn from that mistake. I will probably still go away in July, you know, to Europe, and it'll be a problem, but I won't learn from that mistake. But I think, you know, personally and emotionally, people are not ready sometimes to admit that they've made the mistake, and it's their responsibility. They don't take responsibility for it, because, and therefore you can't learn from it unless you can admit that you made it in the first place.
Have you
and so people carry on making it.
Have you learned from your mistakes?
I probably have, yeah. But the thing is, I've learned from other people's mistakes. You know, I learned from my mum's mistakes big time. You know, I didn't have kids. I mean, God, that's just the best thing in the world. That's the biggest thing. Probably the biggest. Well, you learned that from your mum, so your mum having you made you think,
what's a terrible mistake?
It was a terrible mistake. The worst things you could have done. No, because I witnessed the kind of drudgery and you know what went with it and all the, and I just thought, no, I'm not making that mistake. For me, it would have been a mistake.
Those are mistakes, I think, when they're that kind of fundamental. They're the mistakes that you should learn from. I think there are little mistakes that we make, like patterns. You know, like things that you know you shouldn't do. Like, I know when I get in the car with Paul, I know I shouldn't say which way you're going to go. Because it just winds him up. And he's told me a million times, don't ask me where I'm going. It winds me up. Get in the car.
Why do you keep doing it?
I don't, because I've had a little word with myself. And I've decided that there are so many big mistakes I've made that I need to address first. That the little ones he's just going to have to put up with.
Yeah.
Because I think there are things that, you know, about yourself, like, for example, if you're doing something in a relationship that's hurting someone, you know, if you're doing something that's, you know, breaking someone's heart, or you're just, you know, it could even be something that you don't even know that you do, that you were conditioned as a child and you know, perhaps you don't trust, or you're possessive or something like that, which isn't always in your control. And if someone who loves you says, actually, don't do that to me because it really hurts, then, you know, if you've identified that, then I think it's quite good to try and do something about it.
As long as
and
you
I think
admit,
you should learn by that.
As long as you admit that you've done it, because a lot of people go, "Oh, well, I'm sorry if you're hurt by what I've done."
Yes.
Like you were saying the other week, when Steve doesn't say sorry, he says, "I'm sorry if you were upset."
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's your fault then, isn't it?
No, he's not taking responsibility.
No, I'm not saying it's your. No, he's saying, so the fact that you react to it like that, he's sorry that that's your reaction, rather than the fact that he did something wrong.
That's it.
But people are often on the defensive. I think, you know, there are certain
he's not
thing.
learning.
No, he's
No.
not. He did it yesterday, actually. He said, I'm sorry if I lose the F. That's become a
See?
catchphrase in our house. Lose the F. What do you mean, if? I'm sorry if I did. No, you did do it.
He's a chimp, love. He's a chimp.
He's a chip. He's a chump. I love that man.
Maxwell, can't you?
I know. Oh, can I say I tried my wedding dress on for the first time on Tuesday? Yeah, it was brilliant. Put my foot straight through the front of it. That was amazing.
We're going to learn from that mistake.
I will. Yeah.
Wear a mini.
Wear a mini. Do you know, I might have to cut the bit off. Anyway.